All right, today we're here to talk about basics of lighting. And so to get right into our setup, we're going to look at our Motto Destiny here. And this is basically just an easy everyday thing. We are using the practical light that's coming in. There's absolutely not one light in. As you can see, she's got a nice key here. She's got some shadow over here. She's a little bit a little flat here. There's no real hair light to pop out, but she does have some separation of her shoulders right here, as you can see. Basically, it's a nice 3D image. I would take this for the most part. I think it's, really good. Just a starter place, we have a backdrop. This is kind of just like where you want to be. As you can see, her eye line is slightly left of camera. That's where you're going to have your producer basically conducting the interview, or you are going to be conducting the interview. Like I said, this is just quick and simple. We're going to basically just take a little time here, and we're going to talk about just actual lighting and lighting considerations. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to basically black out this studio. So, already there, you can see quite a little bit of difference. She's still got a little bit of front-facing light here. If I come around this other side, she's gotten in more to a Rembrandt feature. You can tell that by the slight triangle in her eye. This is kind of a little bit more pleasant. You may want to actually, I've got some ND on it right now, so you may want to actually just come in here, switch that off, and there you go. So that's another way to get kind of the same look, and all we've really done is close the back curtains. We still have our front curtains open, and these are just simple things that you can do without changing your lighting. So let's go down into actually lighting our subject now. All right, so she's still getting a little spill. Let me close this down even more. All right, so now I think she's getting a little bit of kick from this. Make sure you're blacked out. There you go. And so we've got a little hallway light. Basically, I don't know if you can pick it up, but that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And I kind of like what this is doing. It just really gives a little bit of shape here. And so this is what you would call an edge light with a little bit of kind of a kicker, because kickers kind of extend into the cheek. So then we're going to go ahead and we'll talk about your different sources. So everything in lighting is three things. It's key, edge, fill. Key, edge, fill, that's it. Lighting is the simplest thing that you can do. Like I said, just key, edge, fill. So what we're going to do basically is I'm going to turn on this light. This is your cheap, every day I think this is like $8 at Walmart. So we're just going to go ahead and plug it in. Maybe. All right, we're going to plug her in here. And yellow striking, just in case it comes on. There you go. So that's that light at full intensity. So now it's doing basically all the work. We're just going to move it over here a little bit. I might even move it here. You notice this is kind of nice. It's got some of like the soft frosting on here. And then always bring a dimmer with you. This one's one of the more expensive ones, but you can get a $6.95 dimmer from Home Depot. You can get this light from Walmart. And then, so there you go. We're going to take that. And this is just another thing. Now the problem with this becomes, oops, sorry. Let me do it one more time. Problem with this becomes, is she's kind of mashed in a little bit, I feel, to the background. So I might want to do some type of color separation, or I may want to go ahead and change up this light just a little bit. And so with that, I add, this is called CTB gel. And you're really just going to take this and just see if it's even doing anything. It's doing a little bit. You can just double it up. And there you go right there. See? And then I'll just add a little clip to this. These are all small. Sorry, man, I'm sure that killed you. A-clamp, Home Depot. I think you're cinching a trend. So there, that just puts it a little bit more at the color temperature that I kind of want to be. You can get these fairly cheap. You can buy, I think, like a pack of gels for 12 bucks. And then we're going to add a little bit. I like overall, this is not bad. We're using one light that's already there and an $8 Home Depot light, and I think that might be an expensive $7 bulb. So these are just practical things that you can use in the wild. We're going to start adding a little bit extra here. So I'm going to take that. Actually, no, I'm going to keep this. Forgive me. And we're going to add just a little bit of. This is the key light. This is kind of acting like a fill, a little bit of an edge. We're going to add one more light. This is our first actual light that we're going to add, and this is going to be an addition to the edge, but it's also going to kind of be a hair light. So edge kind of comes into 3 different flavors. Edge comes into a kicker, comes into a hair light, and well, it just comes into an edge light. So maybe not exactly the right way to put that, but so what we're going to do is we're going to put this on. I've got a little piece of tape here that softens this up already. And then I'm going to add just a little speck of daylight in here. And then maybe a little of that. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it on that camera, but Brandon, maybe if you can get down here, the bag in this of a C-stand is basically towards the weight. So this is pointing down and this is pointing this way, which meaning everything that I do is going straight down. You can kind of get in a little trouble if you don't follow that rule.
And it's always the larger leg, right?
Yes. So there you go. It's something very small and very subtle. Let me maybe, I like what it's doing on the hair. Really enjoy the shoulders. We'll just blow it up so you can see kind of what it's really doing. And then, yeah, see, just something a little nice to add. Give her some definition in this little halo here. Separate her out even further from the background. And basically, so these are tube lights that we got on. They're Yonganu tube lights. 110 bucks. This is probably, this and that stand are the most money that we spent. If you want to get something like this, you could put a lamp basically in the back. Like if you had another one of these, you could put it with a different color temperature. As earlier we spoke about the different color temperatures. Right now we're in a tungsten setting with that blue gel that I doubled up and added. We're probably somewhere, I'd imagine, around the 4,000, 4,200 Kelvin range. This is probably around the 45, and that backlight's probably around the 45. So we're kind of living all in that same kind of range. There's nothing super dramatic about what's going on here. Yeah, like I said, she looks nice. I think this is, for a little bit of money, this is what you got. And the only light that we really used was this backlight. So what if we want a little bit more drama? So drama is basically, we're talking about living in the world of shadows here. So I'm going to add one thing, and that's going to be what we call negative fill. So negative fill is different than fill. Negative means we're taking away. So let me go ahead and grab this. And let's see if we can get away with just using this guy. Undo my head. Sorry, you're making loud noises on your mic. Alright, so bag towards where the weight's gonna go. Now normally when you're this close sometimes you'll have wrong hole. That happens sometimes, especially when you're on camera. But there you go. So basically, if you're getting really close to the talent, sometimes you wanna, tell them like, oh, hey, could you move if you're gonna rig something overhead or something really close? Because your talent is pretty much the most important person that you're gonna have on set. Every one of us can be fired at any moment. The talent's usually not that way. They're usually the face of the still. More times out of 10, you're going, and they're not. So don't hurt them, because not only will you put yourself out of a job, you'll put your friends out of a job. So we're adding basically a little bit of drama. So you just see what's happening here. And this is just a little bit of negative fill. It's giving it just a smidge more shape. You can kind of pull it out here. If you want to just get on the face, keep that shoulder. I'll put it here. See how it's no shoulder, no real side lighting. Pulling it out just enough. And then if you had a clamp, you could go ahead and clamp this on. That should see you too, right? Yeah, just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So yeah, like I said, it's just simple little techniques. This is $7 at $5 at Walmart. So this is a negative fill, and then if you want a little bit more love, which I don't think you would need, you're going to kind of flatten out the end. We're getting more out of this backlight than this light's producing, but in the next one I'll show you what using the white side of this would be as far as for a fill. So we're going to put that down for now. All right, now we're going to basically, I'm going to kind of go through and just show you what everything's doing. So I'm going to turn all my lights off. Matt, I think you might need to turn that light off. No, where is it? I'll get it. Alright, so the reason why I turned all these lights off is now I just want you to reiterate that this is your fill light, or this is your key light. This is your key light, meaning it is your key component. It is what everything is going off of. This will be the light that you're going to use. It's your main source of light. Before it was outside, now it's this single little lamp here. And then so we're going to take this off, and we're going to, now that's just the edge and the hair light. Now see how it's acting as a hair light here. See how it's separating the shoulders here. Yeah, and it's just kind of really and it's also even lighting up the background a little bit. You could get rid of that by putting like a piece of tape up here, but this is kind of what's separating her. We don't have a fill light per se, but if we did want to, you would want something really subtle. Sorry. So, and we'll use this little 1x1 panel. And it's going to be really, fill is exactly what it sounds like. You're just filling in the space just a little bit. It's not meant to be more powerful than the key. Sometimes you just want a little bit more on the right side. So it's going to strike, hopefully. Yes. So there you go. Now we'd probably put that somewhere like in here. Yeah, just as low as we can get it. And then we'll take this off. You see what that's doing? It's just kind of filling in this side, which is her fill side. Remember, this is the key. And that's the fill. So the key's going on here. And then we'll turn off just a little bit of the fill. See just that this one's going to take a second to pop back on, just because it's an older LED. We'll just do it this way. There. So more drama, more shadows, less drama and shadows. And then we put them on together, and you've got a fairly decent looking shot using just your key, your fill, and your edge. That is basically everything you're going to need to know about lighting. So as far as just lighting an interview, it's something super simple, something super easy.